Everybody else is new to the party, but we've been covering what's been going on at Area 51 for quite a while, including the strange structures that are being built there. What is this 200-foot triangular tower? What exactly would be the purpose of this? You can find it on Google Maps. Here is Area 51 on Google Maps. You can see the massive airstrip here, one of the longest and largest airstrips on planet Earth. Nobody's quite sure exactly how big it is, and nobody's quite sure what goes on inside of these buildings. You can see some of the aircraft here, some of the cars and vehicles. So much of the space is underground, got its own water supply, got obviously its own water towers, but it's not the only tower that it has. It has this tower. What is it exactly? Nobody's quite sure. But it's strange, and we've been covering it, and we've been asking major questions. And the more questions that you ask, the less answers that you find, because, well, there is no explanation for things like this. This is the UFO video that was shown in Congress. This is some type of object that's flying over the ocean, being filmed by our military. We hit it with a Hellfire missile fired from a Reaper drone. This is some of the most sophisticated equipment, military equipment on Earth, and it just breaks apart and then reforms. There's no explanation for that. Maybe it's heading to the triangular tower at Area 51. We don't know. We're not sure. But something weird is going on here, man. There it goes. Okay. Is there anything, can you explain what this is? Do you know? I mean, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've seen this video, but every single time I watch it, I am once again perplexed and re-inspired to continue to ask questions about what's going on here. What is this? This was shown in Congress by
I'd like to ask the committee to replay that.
And apparently we're going to find out much more, because the sequence of events has been accelerating. Barack Obama, of course, saying that aliens
unless
are real.
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51.
So aliens are real, but let me tell you, they're not being kept in Area 51. No matter what, don't look at Area 51. No matter what, don't look here. I promise you, this is not where they are. Well, how would you know that? Like, could you explain that exactly? I still don't know why they're being so overt about this. President Trump, of course, after that, promising to release all of the alien information. Donald Trump at the White House recently saying, yeah, we're going to release it. I think we're going to be releasing as much as we can. This is stuff that you wouldn't believe.
Time. And that is such, they want to find out about the UFOs and anything having to do with UFO or related material. And we're going to be releasing a lot of things from that we have. And I think some of it's going to be very interesting to people. I've interviewed people, my first term primarily, but I interviewed some pilots, very solid people, and they said they saw things that you wouldn't believe. So you're going to be reading about it.
I guess we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. The White House says that they have the ability to transform time and space itself and leave distance annihilated. Our technology is permitted to manipulate time and space and leave distance annihilated. Okay. This is directly from the White House Space and Science and Technology Director, Alex Krastios. Anybody ever asked to follow up on this? Manipulate time and space. Can you show me? Donald Trump really wants to tell people we can teleport stuff so badly.
We have more powerful than anybody. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is.
Nobody has any idea what it is. Okay. Maybe this is why all the scientists are going missing. I'm not sure. But I do know this, that people who can track the geological events around Area 51 are saying that something strange is happening there. And we thought it was of note and worth bringing to your attention. Unusual earthquake swarm strikes Area 51. Fears of secret testing. So what's going on here? More than a dozen earthquakes have struck Nevada's highly classified base over the past 24 hours. At least 17 earthquakes up to a 4.4 magnitude were detected just a mile from Area 51, a cultural phenomenon thanks to decades of conspiracy theories connecting the base to UFOs and aliens and experimental aircraft testing. It's not really a conspiracy theory. It's just a theory. The 4.4 magnitude earthquake kicked off a seismic activity, striking just 2.5 miles underground, fueling speculation of a possible underground testing. The tremors were recorded in an area not typically known for forensic or seismic activity, raising questions of observers in the unusual cluster. Obviously, people are now posting about the strange and unusual number of earthquakes hitting Area 51. A dozen earthquakes detected Area 51 over the past few days. Why? Geophysicist Stefan Bruns describes the location as an unusual place to get an earthquake. Nothing in the region has historically remained relatively quiet compared to other fault zones across the West. He also pointed out the shallow depth of the strongest quake, roughly just miles underground, and details that he made particularly noteworthy. Burns added that the earthquakes are underground explosions can sometimes produce similar seismic signatures, especially when energy is released suddenly beneath the surface. However, earthquake swarms can occur when stress shifts along fracture lines. The Nevada desert sits on an active tectonic plate. So, what's the explanation here? Is this just normal? Geologic activity? You can see here the magnitude of earthquakes and where they have struck. Area 51 is north of Las Vegas. Nevada itself is like an entire federal state. The vast majority of land in Nevada is owned by the federal government. It's crazy. That's why there's only like 2 cities in Nevada. A dozen of earthquakes in Area 51 was actually happening beneath Nevada. A dozen earthquakes. Concussion, the quakes are clustered in a very specific corridor that runs through central Nevada. They line up almost perfectly with the geological structure called the Walker Lane. The zone is one of the most active and least discussed tectonic regions in the United States. It's not a single fault line like San Andreas. It's a distributed system that constantly shifting between multiple fault lines, releasing energy. So what is a swarm? It's not a single event, but a series of smaller quakes as the crust adjusts in real time. That's what we're seeing near Area 51. Notable clusters in early 2010s and 2015. This is an ongoing cycle. The Walker Lane system is slowly taking on more of the tectonic strain that has historically handled the San Andreas Fault. The shift has been seen for years. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to see a shift as the U.S. government registers the domain aliens.gov. Here it is. It's not live just yet, but UFO sightings in the United States have skyrocketed. Will the U.S. confirm that aliens exist? It's an interesting little pad here. By December 31st, there's a 78% chance that Trump declassifies the UFO files by December. Okay. I asked J.D. Vance about this, and he said he's heading to Area 51, and he's going to check it out for all of us. He has the tippy-top clearance, he says. There you go. You going to release all the UFO files?
We're working on it. It's funny. When I came in, I was obsessed with the UFO files. And then you start getting really busy worrying about the economy and national security and things like that. But I've still got 3 more years as vice president. I will get to the bottom of the UFO files.
Okay. Have you peeked? Have you done a peek?
Have I what?
Have you done a peek? Have you
So I actually haven't. I have
full
not.
Independence Day.
I have not been able to spend enough time on this to really understand it. Yeah. But I am going to. Trust me. I'm obsessed with this. I've already had a couple of times where I'm like, all right, we're going to Area 51. We're going out to New Mexico. We're going to sort of get to the bottom of this. And then the timing of the trip just didn't work out. But trust me, anybody who's curious about this, I'm more curious than anybody. And I've got 3 years of the very, very tippy top of the classification. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay. So you haven't been to Area 51 yet?
Not yet.
Some people say they keep the UFOs in Ohio. They might,
Hangar 18, Hangar 18, right?
I've
heard that as well. But I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet.
Okay. All right. Well, we're waiting for it. We saw aliens.gov.
You know me.
We saw aliens.gov.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion.
Well, I can't let you go without a follow-up on that. Because Barack Obama is on this podcast and he goes, yeah, aliens are real, but like, here's where they're not. And,
I did not.
And so Obama says, yes, aliens he gets asked point blank, are aliens real? Said, oh, yeah. And then he goes, but they're not at Area 51. And
where are they?
Well, that's what he says. Okay. Right. That's a great question. Trump had to go save him, and he said he's going to declassify. Okay. So you think they're demons?
Well, look, I think that celestial beings who fly around, who do weird things to people, I think that the desire to describe everything celestial, everything as otherworldly, to describe it as aliens. I mean, every great world religion, including Christianity, the one that I believe in, has understood that there are weird things out there, and there are things that are very difficult to explain. And I naturally go, when I hear about sort of extra natural phenomenon, that's where I go to, is the Christian understanding that, there's a lot of good out there, but there's also some evil out there. And I think that one of the devil's great tricks is to convince people he never existed.